What is going on, everybody? And blessed to be bringing on right now a three-star in the 2023 class, Comeh Emuobor. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. But anyways, we hop right into this interview. Like starting things off on, a few maybe random questions, maybe some personal questions, stuff to just get you warmed up, get you into it. So I don't know if you like fix your hair or something like that, but I saw you got some bracelets on you. So I want you to explain to me what each bracelet is on your wrist.
Oh, the bracelets? Yeah, nah, I just sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling, I just like to wear bracelets sometimes. But nah, one of these are I heart my athletic trainer, and another one says actually the exact same thing on it, just a different font. Yeah.
So I guess you're like a big like. Does it say like the name of your athletic trainer, or literally just says like I heart my athletic trainer?
It was I think it was Athletic Trainer Appreciation Month, like probably like a month ago, I think. So they were handing them out at my school. So yeah. And then I
So
just bracelet that it's kind of white and green, so I kind of think of it as like the colors of Nigeria, so I like to wear it on me.
mm. So with your athletic trainer, like, do you see your athletic trainer a lot? Are you always getting treatment, all that stuff?
Yeah, during the season I used to see them a lot, and now I take weightlifting. One of the athletic trainers, he's actually one of the coaches, so I see him quite often, and yeah, I get treatment and all that stuff.
Okay, and then I mean, you also kind of brought up Nigeria. Were you from that country? Your parents from that country? Like, why is that I think close to home for you?
Yeah, so my dad is from Nigeria, and I got a bunch of aunties and uncles, and I've learned so much about my culture, obviously, because I am Nigerian all throughout my upbringings and still now. So I just love the country of Nigeria, and I just love the colors and all the cultural stuff behind it.
This might make me seem kind of dumb, but I know that's not the only flag you actually have in your Instagram bio. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
My heart telling me it's either. I
I
feel like
took
it's either Senegal or South Africa. I don't know why, but those are my two guesses. I don't know if I'm way off or not, but those are
it's
my
Senegal.
flag guesses.
Nah, you're good. It's Senegal.
Oh, it is. Oh my God, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go. Wow. Okay. Okay. I know my countries a little bit. So I guess like so. Then who's from? What gives you those roots then as well?
So my mom is Senegalese and my dad's Nigerian. So yeah.
Yeah, and I see, I was hopping your Instagram really quick. It looks like you're a world traveler as well. You've gone to Germany, Nigeria, Lagos. I don't even know what that is. You gone to Senegal before, obviously makes sense. You've done a lot of traveling, obviously. So I guess what was it like, kind of seeing the world? Do you have like a favorite country you travel to or anything like that?
Favorite country? I don't have one because my mom's from Senegal, my dad's from Nigeria. They're both my favorite. I can't pick one over the other. But
Mm.
yeah, I just like to travel a lot. I like to see different places from where I was born at, and that's just one of my goals too. Like one of my, you know, lifelong goals is just to travel and see as many places as I can see.
Yeah. Well, what about Germany? Obviously, that flag's not in your Instagram bio. Is that just like fun family trip, or why'd you head over there?
See, funny, Germany was actually to get to Africa actually. So like that we took a connecting flight from Frankfurt, Germany, and we got to hang out there for a little while. Germany's actually really nice. Like that country is really nice. Like the airport looked amazing. Like yeah, the spot was nice for sure.
And I understand like Africa is not, like I feel like they kind of have that stereotype. At least like I feel like when I was, like 5 years old, I just thought Africa equals like, savannah and like animals.
Right.
Always not the case. So can I talk about like what Africa's like? Because people, some little kids out there probably think Africa just means like giraffes and lions, like rhinoceros. So they probably think it's like all a bunch of animals. So like what's Africa really like?
See, I'm West African. West Africa is obviously not like Central Africa where like most of in South Africa where like the savannah is, and that's all they really show you on TV. So of course everybody assumes that. But nah, Africa, like as a whole, it's just a beautiful continent. There's amazing people there. And it's just the cultural aspect of it and all like from the fashion, from the food, like, there's just so much about Africa that I feel like not a lot of people know about. And, it's just a really nice place to be. Like, everybody calls it the motherland for a reason because, like, it's just a beautiful continent overall.
And I am curious. I know he said that it's like the stereotype of Africa, but did you ever got to go on a safari or do anything like that or no?
See, nah, I've never traveled to South Africa or Central Africa. That's one of my goals too. I've only been to West Africa.
Mhm. So I guess now you kind of hop into more basketball stuff, but using what you mentioned about goals and traveling, um, I'm sure the NBA is like the top goal of yours, but I feel like people that don't make it to the NBA, one of the big benefits is they'll play overseas and they really get to travel the whole world. So if like what how are you trying to really accomplish that goal? Let's say if you make it to the NBA, what are you gonna do to make sure you kind of see a lot of different countries?
Really, shoot, with the money that I get, hopefully I can take my family and I to travel, and if I play pro and hopefully, yeah, playing the NBA, hopefully I can use that money that I'm getting paid to play basketball with, to travel across the world and just see different places, honestly.
Yeah, I guess like the one thing is when you're in the NBA, especially if you're, about to win the NBA championship, your season goes from like October, team camp, all that stuff, and then ends in like June or July. So you only got like a couple months. And I'm assuming you're not gonna spend those couple months like traveling like 10 different countries. That would be like super stressful. But then if you're overseas, I don't know how the season lasts, but you gotta be traveling from country to country like for a game, like every day. I feel like so that's why I feel like the NBA would be much harder to really see the world that way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in all honesty, by God's grace, if I play in the NBA, like I probably spend most of my time traveling like after I finish my career, to be honest, when I'm busy doing other stuff with my life and
Mhm.
trips that I get after doing whatever occupation I'm doing, then I'll use that time to travel the world with my family.
Yeah. Do you have like a dream place that you want to travel to that you haven't been yet?
Um yeah, I got a few. So I want to go to Central Africa. I want to go to Yellowstone National Park. That's in Wyoming, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, I want to go to like the other side of the hemisphere. Like I want to travel like India and
Mhm.
Asia, you know, other parts of the world, like on that side of the globe.
Yeah. Well, what about in terms of traveling, like when you're playing EYBL or high school basketball? Like, have you seen like anything cool you count that as travel? Because playing EYBL, you're going from went to Florida, then you went to Indiana, then you go to Kentucky. Is that count for traveling for you? And what's the EYBL travel like?
Does, because you're traveling across different regions. So like, I probably the last time I went to Florida, well, I went to Florida this past weekend, but ever before EYB, the first session EYBO, the last time I had been to Florida was probably when I was in like the fifth grade. So, I love Florida. I used to always go to Disney World. So like traveling and, seeing different places, I feel like that's just good for teenagers as a whole, traveling, just going outside, or just for any like young, you know, adults, traveling outside of your hometown is like seeing other parts of the world. I think that's just like a good development stage for everybody.
Mhm. I gotta say, I gotta be full disclosure here. Actually, I'm not a big fan of traveling.
Really.
Like, I will say, I just want to put it out there just so I don't seem like I'm just asking you. It's interesting, but
Yeah.
I cannot stand travel. I don't know. I'm just not like not the
Florida.
biggest fan. I'm more of a homebody. Like I like being in America, but
Yeah.
like I just feel like it's one thing. Like if I go to another country, like even though English is the global language, what I learned in or like technically is like which is what I learned in my language arts class last year.
Mm.
But still, like, I just feel bad making someone have to, change the way they speak just to talk to me. Like, I feel bad doing that. Then, some countries are a little more like, not as wealthy as the United States is. And I'm like, damn, like, I feel guilty, like, being over here like that. Like, I just kind of feel like kind of like awkward. Like, especially because like you're a tourist,
Yeah.
you're like the target for you're getting pickpocketed, all that stuff. Like, I went to Paris for a few days with my family and you have to walk around backpack in front of you. Can't put my backpack behind me. You never know what could happen. So I was like, it's like annoying. Like, always people asking you like buy stuff. It's just like kind of annoying. So I'm not the biggest traveling fan. I had to put it out there. I felt
Ah,
too bad as being like, yeah, great stuff when you know.
that's everywhere. You travel outside or just anywhere you're not used to. Anywhere that's abnormal for you. So I can
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I guess like I don't like feeling, like uncomfortable. And even though America isn't like, the best, well, I guess it kind of is one of the best countries in the world, but it's not, like America
Or
is not like the safest place to be.
yeah,
But still like it's where I'm from. Like I don't know, I feel more comfortable like anywhere in America than I would, like, which makes sense because like you're not like, from a country outside of America. So I guess does make sense. But yeah, it's in America anywhere, like I feel just a little more comfortable just because like it's the country where I'm from, even though it's super big.
right.
Yeah. But I guess now we're still gonna talk about traveling a little bit. This is actually a really good segue to a lot of topics. You took a handful of visits. I don't know if they're official, unofficial. I'm gonna guess. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna guess. I don't really know. But you took visits to Georgia Tech, Georgia. Looks like Virginia Tech as well. I don't know if you took any more or not. But what was it like traveling to those different visits? And do you have a favorite moment on any of them?
Uh, it was great traveling to all those schools. Meeting with the coaching staff that I've been building a relationship for a while, putting a face to it, and it was all great. And just sitting down, talking with the coaches, and seeing all that they have to offer, and how their players go on a daily basis, and all that good stuff. So, it was great. You know, I enjoyed it, and
Mhm.
we're actually all unofficials. Yeah,
Okay.
haven't taken.
So do you have any plan? Like, are you trying to take some visits like even before Peach Jam happens? Are you trying to wait till after? I feel like Peach Jam's like a good timetable to figure out like when people want to do things. Like, are you trying to do it before Peach Jam, after Peach Jam? Are you maybe just not going to take any visits because you don't feel like it? What's your plan with that?
Yeah, now I've been talking to a few schools about taking the officials recently. There's no days that's been set in stone yet, but that will be before Peach Jam. I'll be taking those visits.
Mhm. And in terms of your recruitment process overall, obviously you did receive a couple recent offers from Bradford and UMass, but what other schools has been showing you some recent interest that maybe haven't offered you yet?
Minnesota, Vanderbilt, Loyola, Chicago. Um, that's just to name a few off the top of my head. I can't remember some other ones who I've talked to who haven't. Oh, actually, I remember some. Yale, Harvard. Um, yeah, I can't remember the other ones.
Mhm. And just out of curiosity, I mean, I saw, it's an edit of you, I think, done by Hoop Scoop Media, where was your offers and interests, and I know USF offered you, but they also put UF on there and UCF, which I'm assuming
Yeah,
is some interest. You haven't traveled to, well, Florida for a visit, but if let's say those two other schools offer you, is there a chance that you come down here to Florida to at least one of those three schools?
I mean, yeah, I got a good relationship with Coach Dawkins at UCF, so I and in Florida as well, so and South Florida as well too. But I haven't cut a list down anything or
Yeah.
like my recruitment is still wide open.
Do you have any sort of plan like when you would want to commit? Are you trying to get that done before the high school season starts? Are you trying to maybe just cut down your list before the high school season starts and commit during the season, or when do you think you'd like to end up committing to a college?
I think after Peach Jam, it'll be a lot more clear on where I'm gonna go. So I probably say after Peach Jam, I don't know if I'm gonna commit right after Peach Jam, but after Peach Jam, I'll definitely kind of know and start narrowing things down. I'd say.
And since you did bring up Peach Jam, I guess we'll travel over into that section of the interview now, talking about EYBL. You play for Team CP3. Looks like you've been playing with them for at least a couple years, I'm assuming. Just how long you've been playing for that program, and what's it been like being a part of the Team CP3 family?
It's been great. You know, you're gonna play with high level and other talented kids, and it's one of the best programs on this side of the country, in my opinion. So that's why I decided to play for them. And it's been great since I've joined the family.
For sure. And playing with guys like Gigi Jackson, Robert Dillingham, Aiden Holloway. So it's like playing, with those like three guys specifically because they're all ranked, very high in your class.
It's great. You learn stuff from them every day. They make me better. We all like know how to just go out and just play. Where our team is so talented to where we don't even practice as much, but we somehow still get it done. that's just how talented we are. So it's great playing with those guys.
Yep. And a guy that I guess you're kind of similar in a way. I know Jaden Young's a shooting guard, but he's 6'4", 190 pounds. I mean, you're 6'5", 190 pounds. You guys, you don't look like twins or anything, but you have like similar body types in a
Dude,
way. So what's like, kind of playing with a guy like him where, you guys are both kind of similar in terms of the way you guys play.
that's my brother. We're both real skilled wings. I say in the state, and I honestly feel like we're both really underrated in the country overall. And I think people will realize that once Peach Jam and the sessions go on, how talented we both actually are. So it's great playing with Jaden. We play against each other in high school ball as well. So it's always good to see Jaden.
And to nobody's surprise, looking at the EYBL standings, you guys are one of the top teams. I think you guys are 7-1. I want to say you played a lot of great teams. Just what's it been like, and how you guys really been able to get all this recent success to currently be one of the top teams in EYBL right now?
We're really on, a redemption tour, to be honest with you. We took a hard loss last year to Why Not in the semifinals. So the mentality this year is just protecting the focus. And, the main goal is to win Peach Jam. So that's been on all of our minds. And, we're all locked in and, ready to do that.
You mentioned losing to team Why Not in the semifinals. I'm just curious about how EYBL works because I felt like when I was in Orlando, I mean, there's so many games going on at the same time that, and I felt like most media people, including myself, were like, yeah, we'll just watch 17U. That was always the one that everyone would watch. Is that kind of the case in EYBL, you feel like, where 17U gets just like way more attention than 16U and 15U?
Yeah. And, it's because this is obviously our last year to get recruited AAU. And with the transfer portal and all that's going on in college basketball, the emphasis now is, you know, really learn on the 17U. That's just how it is, the day and age of the basketball world right now.
Yeah. How do you think, like, what do you mean by the transfer portal really makes, like, why would that make a coach want to recruit a 17U kid more than like a younger kid? Like, how's the transfer portal impact that?
The transfer portal, it can impact kids in many ways. Coaches obviously still looking for experience, and taking a young taking a young high school kid, can affect them, but it can also help them. So it's just a hard decision that coaches have to make. But I think taking a 17U kid is great because, especially on the UIBL, you're playing with and you're looking at, the most talented kids in the country, from all different parts of the country. So, it's still a
Yeah.
win-win.
Well, anyways, more EYBL questions. I spoke to Mike about this the other interview yesterday. But I'll ask you the same questions. What I ask every EYBL player. But you're at 7-1, so I guess there's not really a lot of teams you'd probably want to get revenge against from this season. But I know you guys did get revenge versus Team Why Not. But is there a team that you'd want to play again? It could be Team Why Not again this season, or a team that you want to face that you haven't played yet.
We actually lost to PSA Cardinals, so we got to get our face back with them. But other than that, not really. I just want to win PCM. Whether who we play, I don't really care. I just want to win PCM.
Mm-hmm. What other teams do you think are going to give you guys the toughest test? Obviously, Team Why Not did you guys a pretty good run for your money, but they're 5-3 right now, so they're not really in that like top tier conversation based off record. But what team, think of all the UIBL teams, think is going to be the hardest one that you guys will have to go through in order to win Peach Jam?
I don't know. I heard that Florida Rebels is pretty good. I heard Levon is decent. I can't even really name any other ones off the top of my head. Oh, yeah, I heard Scholars is good. Um, yeah, those those are the few teams that I know that I've heard that are pretty good. But I'm honestly not really worried about that. I would just control. We're gonna control. We can control and just handle business.
Yep. And as we're kind of continuing on with this interview, so what goals do you guys have? Do you have, how does it work in terms of maybe like, do you guys set team goals per session? Is the goal just like, nope, our goal is to win PGM and that's it? Or are you guys like, let's go this session 4-0, or let's just win the first game, we'll go from there? What's the mentality like in terms of setting goals on EYBL?
You know, Coach John, he laid the foundation from the start. You know, we all had our first practice with all of us together. You know, he told us, you know, we got to protect the focus, and you know, we all want to win Peach Jam. And you know, he tells us that same type of care that we had from when we first saw each other after not seeing each other for a whole year. That's the same type of bond and, you know, connection we got to have throughout the whole entire season, you know, to reach that main goal, which is win Peach Jam.
And I actually realized, so EYBL did put out your schedule for when you guys are in Kentucky. So it's gonna kind of break that down away. So it looks like you guys are playing. I don't know. Do you know your schedule or no? Or is this gonna be your first time hearing it?
Uh, I I heard that we play. I think we play Florida Rebels. That's what I heard. I think
Let's see. So far I see Alabama Fusion. I see Expressions Elite. Um, let's see. I see Oakland Soldiers. So I think the last one would have to be Florida Rebels.
could be wrong. I'm not sure.
Let's see. Oh no, and then you guys play the family. I think that would be it. I would assume.
Okay.
So, but
Maybe.
oh no, oh and then you play All Ohio.
Oh,
And
okay.
then okay, yeah. So that's so I'm not gonna lie, like sorry to any other teams watching. That's kind of an like I think it's low key like an easy set of games you guys have for this session. But looking at that, I told you every game. I mean, do you have any maybe goals for yourself? Since those games might be a little easier, at least some of them. Just maybe like I want to drop maybe 20 points in a game, or I want to showcase a skill set about myself while I'm over there, because you might get more of those opportunities to really show who you are as a player in Kentucky. So what goals do you have for yourself then?
Just play my game. You know, I don't really overthink anything. You know, I know my capabilities, so I just go out there and play. You know, I know if I just give it my all, then all aspects of my game will be shown. You know, if I just compete at a high level, which I do. You know, so I don't really have any like, oh, I'm gonna go out there and try and score 20. You know, because I feel like that's just not gonna really do anything. I'm gonna be trying to force everything. So I just go out there and just, you know, be me at the highest level. You know, that's how I, you know, get the most out of, you know, all this exposure stuff.
And coming down to Miami for the Night Rise Invitational, that doesn't matter towards UIBL. But so you guys, despite, I'm assuming you guys didn't practice, it was more of like a team bonding-ish trip. You guys are still able to get some good wins versus I thought a 3SSB team, but actually I'm not sure if they are, but Team Night, at least they say they do, but you never know. Night Riders is EYBL. How are you guys able to get the job done and just enjoy your time in Miami? Well, technically Fort Lauderdale, actually. Enjoy your time in Fort Lauderdale and sunny South Florida. Just kind of how how are you able to, get the job done with, enjoying yourselves over there?
You know, just first and foremost, is take care of business on the court, and you know, we'll worry about all the other stuff off the court. You know, so that's just what we did throughout the whole weekend. You know, we just made sure that we just took care of business and you know, just handle business really.
Mhm. And now transitioning into high school basketball, you play in the state of North Carolina. Just what's that like, just playing in the state in general? Because there's the Hoop State Network, they call it the Hoop State, and that really is, even if the talent isn't the best, I feel like the people there, the teams, the schools, like the fans, I feel like the people of North Carolina care about basketball like the most, I would say. So what's it like, as being a player in the Hoop State?
It's great, you know, all the history that you know behind North Carolina basketball players, and to know that I'm going to be a part of it now, you know, that says a lot, and that means a lot to me. You know, you're gonna play against, you know, some underdogs, really, some people who don't have like the same clout, I say, and exposure, I say, as somebody in California, you know, versus somebody in North Carolina who's possibly just as good as them, but you know, you just wouldn't know that because they don't have the same amount of publicity as that person does. So you know, we got great talent in North Carolina. You know, it's, you know, every time you step on the court in North Carolina, you're gonna play, you know, some good competition. You know.
Yeah. Could you maybe like just elaborate on that a little more? Like, why do you think, a lot of North Carolina guys maybe fly a little bit under the radar? Because I feel like North Carolina is a state that has, great exposure for the athletes. I mean, I feel like majority is from the Hoop State Network, but like that, like they're like, doing big things, I feel like. So why would you say the North Carolina guys maybe fly more under the radar compared to people in California?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. It's kind of weird because like back in the day, it was like you had a bunch of like top 100 guys from North Carolina, which you still do.
Hmm.
Maybe it's just like the numbers has dropped a little bit, I guess. I'm not really sure how, it's kind of, I wouldn't say dropped, but I don't know. I'm not really sure why there's a lot of underrated people coming out from North Carolina. But honestly, I low key feel like that's just the East Coast as a whole. Like, I feel like the East Coast has a lot more underrated people than the West Coast, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the thing too is because like I want to say I agree, but kind of have the other perspective because I feel like we're both from the East Coast, so
Yeah,
we both know East Coast players more. So I feel like people on the West Coast, like I know more East Coast players than I do West Coast players. I think that's just because we're on the East Coast. I'm sure if we both lived on the West Coast, we'd be like, oh yeah, West
yeah,
Coast are underrated guys. So just because we know guys that are underrated because we live near them, I think that's kind of what makes us think that way.
probably, to be honest.
Yeah, but we could be right though. I guess we don't really know. I mean, hopefully, one day I'll be able to see everybody. But I feel like I also feel like the West Coast has like more land, I guess. There's a lot more like the valleys, a lot of stuff. So I feel there's like more of a chance to find like just underrated guys playing like in like the desert at some of like those schools compared to in the East Coast, which is like
A
a lot
sm-
of bigger cities.
yeah, like a small town or something like that.
Yeah. But it also kind of depends on how you interpret like East Coast, West Coast. Like I don't know if we're saying you're splitting up America in half, if we're considering the West Coast as the Western region and the
Yeah,
Midwest is a whole other thing. Because then we gotta get like really technical too.
right.
Yeah. But as now playing at Ravenscroft, I wouldn't say that's like a powerhouse in North Carolina. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But what's it like playing at that school and having to face off against some very well known North Carolina teams?
It's been great. We play good schedule. And like you said, it's not like we're like a powerhouse, but we are a very underrated team, I'd say. And, we compete with all the so called best teams in North Carolina. So, it's been great. We play really good competition all around the state. So that's great.
How did you guys end up doing this season?
I can't even remember our record, but we ended up coming short in the playoffs, first round. That was my first time I've ever lost in the first round, so that sucked. But it was a good season overall.
And I mean, losing the first round. I mean, you said it sucked. You seem actually kind of mad about it. Just how is that really gonna provide some motivation for you to take care of business your senior season?
Oh yeah, definitely got to get back for that for sure, and just remember that feeling that I felt that day always.
And I'm not saying you're going to be like a super selfish player or anything like that, but kind of coming to your senior year, are you really just trying to just dominate, try to do like as much as you can in your senior season? Are you more trying to, kind of help your teammates around? Does it also maybe even depend on if you're committed to a school or not, how you're going to really play as a player? But, we'll see some seniors just kind of just play their game, do what they've always did. And then we see others that are just like, yeah, I just want to like just destroy like everybody just like individually by myself. So what's your mentality towards that?
I mean, my focus coming into my senior year, which has always been it, but it's just going to be you know, preparing myself the most for college, because it's my last year to do that. So, anything that I need to fix, anything that I need to tweak, just that's going to be the emphasis throughout all those months that I have left in my senior year, because one more year and I'm playing college basketball. So, that was a plan and I want to be able to dominate once I get there. So, I'm just ready to prepare for the next level and just do whatever it takes for me to be successful and be prepared once I step foot in a college facility.
And a similar question towards what we talk about with like playing UIBL teams, but is there a team, it could even be in North Carolina that you'll probably play, or a team anywhere in the country, or even a player that you might not even play, but still someone you'd like to face up against for the high school season?
Hmm. I don't know if there's any player I want to face up here. I honestly just want to play as many top so-called ranked players there are in my class just to prove that I'm better than them, really.
Yeah, for sure. And a question that's popped in my head, and then we'll wrap it up. Uh, like with the travel, like I just can't in my head randomly, but let's say a school, because you say you want to travel, all over. I'm sure you've never been to Alaska before. Let's say a school in Alaska offers you maybe they're I want to say they're not even, they might be Division 1, they might not be, probably not because it's Alaska, but let's say they offer you and they say, we know for a fact, like they have a time machine and they know you're playing pro in the future. Would you take that offer to go play in Alaska, to kind of travel the world a little bit? Would you take that offer because it's guaranteed you'll be going pro?
If they told me like I was gonna be if I was gonna play overseas to go to the NBA, like which one?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I
yeah. So they say, well, I feel like NBA, like, so I don't want to say overseas because like that makes it hard. Because NBA, you're like, oh, I'll do like whatever it takes to get to the NBA. But I guess if it was overseas, you maybe like be like back and forth about it.
Yeah, if it was overseas, I'd maybe be back and forth on it. But no knock overseas. Like, I still play overseas, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It Not to get too technical, but even like the school first, like it'd have to be the right fit. Like they'd have to
Yeah,
show some type of they'd have to prove to me that like this would be possible for me to do that. Like it can't just only be the time machine. Like they have to literally show me like around the school the play style for them to prove to me that like it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Nah. It makes sense because like also, you don't want to be, I guess, miserable in a way. And the kind of answer to all those questions about recruitment too is it's not about like you're not just going to school like, oh, I want to live in Miami, I want to go to the beach every day. Let me just go to University of Miami. Like if they offer me, like it's more like it matters with the school, how they are. That kind of almost answered the question about how you see your recruitment process, which I think is like the way everyone should see it. Is it's not about where it is, the campus, about just more than that.
Yeah. That college is about fit. Every decision that I've made in my recruitment process has been about fit so far, and that's how it's gonna stay. You know,
Mm-hmm.
every,
Yeah.
every college is about fit. That's all. I don't care about the where it's at. I'll travel 6 hours home, go to college 6 hours away from home if it's the right fit. I'll stay 20 minutes away from the house if it's the right fit. So I'm not. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
college is where I'll be at.
Yeah, another question with traveling. This is, I don't know why. It's like the first player I kind of realized is like, I kind of like to travel, so that's why I'm asking all these questions. But which arena, or even maybe there's like a high school gym you really want to play in, that you would, or even anywhere like you really want to play in a basketball game, where would that be?
High school gym or arena.
Or high school arena. It could even be like, Final Four, like stadium kind of thing too.
So, as a kid growing up, it was actually Riverview Park Activity Center where PGM is at. So, and on the main court. So, I got to accomplish that last year. Um, Other than that, I'd probably say just NBA court, playing on the NBA court. My plan is to touch an NBA court, God willing.
Mm-hmm. You talk about like the whole PGM thing. I mean, when you played in that game, were you really like, wow, like I'm living a dream, or was you more just kind of like focused on the game?
See, all right, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I first got on the court, I was like, wow, like it's crazy. Like, when I was like, I used to watch Isaiah Briscoe play on this court, like when he was like this back in like 2010 or whenever he was in high school. So like that was crazy when I first got on the court. But as the game went on, I kind of like forgot about that. I was just playing basketball at that point.
Yeah, for sure. I guess my final question for you, and then we got a couple traditions we got to do. Whether you quit basketball tomorrow and become a world traveler, like food critic or something, like traveling a bunch of different foods, or if you end up becoming the greatest basketball player of all time, just what do you want your legacy to be like once you step away from the game of basketball?
So once I step away from the game of basketball, my goal is to be some type of engineer. You know, um, I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna major in college, but I'm pretty sure it's either gonna be some type of engineering or psychology. So, I want to be some type of engineer once I'm done playing basketball,
Yeah,
whether
what
between
uh,
mechanical space.
hmm. What do you want people to like really remember you as? Like, you know, like, what do you want your impact to be? I guess on the game and on people in general.
Really, just a good person overall. You know, a real down to earth, humble person. Doesn't look at anybody different. You know, just a good person, to be honest. Really, you know, just a real genuine person. You know, who respects all people.
For sure. And now a couple of traditions we got to do. So first things first, this is actually a no-brainer for me. Also, you actually made it easy, but we have a thing where we each got to summarize the interview in one word, kind of about like what we talked about, why I picked that word. So my first word, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You got to go traveling. I feel like, you know, we spoke about traveling. We traveled through different topics of basketball, by a career. I feel like it's actually like a really good segue to the whole interview overall. And that's how like a lot of interviews, I'm like, this was the joke interview. I said a funny joke, or this is the the guy that's from like I interviewed whoever Big Francis that was at Winston Salem or whatever. I interviewed him once. I'm like, this is the French guy that was really funny or whatever. Every interview kind of has like a name to it. So this is the traveling interview. So my word it has to be travel for sure.
Gotta be the travel.
Yeah. So do you have any other word that I guess you would maybe use to summarize like what we talked about?
Other than travel, really, I can't say. You know, that
Yeah.
was yeah, gotta be travel.
Yeah. I think that one, like I would make you like think of something else, but that's like that is like a no-brainer. It has to be that. If it's not that word, like I don't know what you're thinking, but now another tradition we have, this could even lead to more questions depending on what you say, but in interviews where guys have because I'm about to plug your Instagram in a second, but I see you got a number 5. It's in your Instagram. Just what does that what does that number 5 mean to you? Was that the number you wear? Why'd you pick to put that number in your Instagram?
See, the reason why I have 5 on my Instagram is because in my high school team and most teams that I played on, I usually wear 5. So, I mean, sorry, I usually wear 10. So, you know, half of 10 is 5. So, like, that's where I got that. It's not anything crazy, but I don't know. And it's always been like that. Like, I have not changed it. And sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I want to change it. But then I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep it.
So why won't you just do like 10 instead of 5?
See, that's the thing. When I tried, and it just didn't look right. Like when I looked at my phone, I was like, don't look right. I like 5.
Yeah, I feel like the 1 digit looks kind of cooler. But yeah, you think there's any chance like you ever even change it to just like your full name or something like that?
See, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about doing that. You know, I probably will do that. You know, but
Mhm.
like type it up, you see my full name right under it. Like you know how like Instagram
Yeah,
does.
yeah, facts.
So you know, I don't know. I might.
Yeah, you know, just to give you some advice. I mean, on my personal account, I have like my name, then dot like my last name, and then below it's like my full name. And I feel like it's not that weird. Like I feel like a lot of people like do that too. I think it's kind of depends. But I never really, like the Instagram user thing. It's actually kind of weird. Like none of them like look like good. Like I'm looking at like a bunch of people's Instagrams right now. I feel like none of them like kind of look
Yeah,
cool in the way. They actually all look kind of weird.
that's what I'm saying. So when I actually one day I tried this, I just typed my full name. I was like, that doesn't look right. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get it.
It just didn't look right to me.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, man, you know, appreciate you for coming on. That means a lot, taking your time, letting me interview you. Before we end this interview, make sure you guys give us both a follow on Instagram. His is at Comeh5, so his first name and the number 5. And I'm at Hoops FL. And anyways, for 2023 small forward for the Ravenscroft School and Team CP3, Comeh Emuobor. I'm Isaac Fleischer. And this has been another I Hoops FL interview. Peace out, guys.